Brandi's gonna be looking at camera 3.
Arrival at Persaud.
9. Fine, just want to get her centered.
Loving to Korea. But how much reality do you need too much? See, without Paris.
Need a sound check for Brandii.
And what about Tom and Kate? So if you want, or be prepared to get us help in a local Burger King for a walk.
Hello and welcome to CCTV News. It's Monday, November 19, 2007. I'm Brandii Stiles with Matt Liebenberg. Here are the top stories. U.S. lifts border restrictions on Canadian cattle today. Street gangs go high-tech. Toronto says bye-bye to Grey Cup. And now to our top story.
There's good news for cattle farmers as the US border reopens today for older Canadian cattle and meat products. Cross-border trade of Canadian cattle and beef has been restricted for the past 4 years as a result of fears about mad cow disease. The cattle industry lost more than $1.7 billion in trade. Restrictions on younger animals have already been lifted in July 2005, but until now, the ban remained in place for higher-risk older animals.
A Mississauga woman is recovering in hospital this morning after a near-fatal stabbing. Peel Regional Police were called to a residence on Absolute Avenue, just across the street from Square One Shopping Center, shortly after 4 a.m. There, they found the woman stabbed in her abdomen. She was rushed to hospital with no vital signs, where the doctors revived her. The police are treating the case as a domestic violence dispute. Her boyfriend is being questioned.
Canada's ambassador to Poland, David Preston, will meet with Polish officials today after the death of Robert Degrassi last month at Vancouver Airport. The Polish immigrant died after RCMP officers stunned him with a taser gun. Poland has asked for an explanation of his death and for the police officers to be prosecuted for their brutal actions. Meanwhile, Minister of Public Safety Stockwell Day has broken his silence over the incident. He previously refused to comment, citing the need to wait for the completion of the investigation into the incident. On Saturday, he described the incident as tragic. He also said Canadians should show similar outrage over all the tragic deaths as a result of drunk driving accidents. For years, a mystery has plagued the students at Degrassi High. What's on the third floor? Greg Dalgety has this story.
Hangs over Degrassi High. Degrassi High, the greatest school in the world. It's where Joey asked Caitlin to prom. It's where the identical twin had an abortion. But for years, people have wondered, what is on the third floor?
One student had an interesting idea.
Well, I haven't seen the kids from the original Degrassi Junior High in a while, so maybe they're all up there.
Another student had another idea.
Could be anything, you know, monsters.
Security guard Dave Purcell gave us the answer. Maintenance person Stephen Starr showed us the roof.
So now, the mystery of the third floor has been solved. There are no leprechauns up there, no unicorns, no Degrassi cast members. Just roof and sky.
Greg Dalgety, CCTV News.
Toronto gangs are now using the World Wide Web to terrorize city streets. Police say that some local gangs are using popular online social networks, chat rooms, blogs, and even creating websites to entice newcomers. Referred to as net banging, gang members can list contact information, plans for criminal activity, and put up messages to taunt rival gangs. Police are becoming very worried about this increasing trend because the internet will allow gang members to expand their criminal networks and activity beyond the megacity. Police will investigate this trend further to try and stunt the crimes committed by gangs.
In Bangladesh, rescue workers are still struggling to reach survivors of Cyclone Cedar that hit the country 4 days ago. The official death toll is almost 2,600 people, but the local Red Crescent Society says it's already more than 3,000 and still increasing. About 3 million people fled the low-lying coastal areas, and there's a desperate need for food, water and medicine. This was the worst cyclone to hit Bangladesh since 1991, when nearly 150,000 people died.
It's lights, camera, action for a Toronto family today. Glenn and Michelle McDonald, along with their 4 children, are in the are the main focus in the new online documentary called Garbage, The Revolution Starts at Home. The film follows the family in their North Toronto home over 3 months to see how much garbage they produce. The family, along with filmmaker Andrew Nisker, are excited about the project's debut. They hope that the film will be an eye-opener to Torontonians and help them to become more environmentally conscious like they did. The McDonald's have now installed low-flush toilets in their home, used reusable shopping bags, and traded in their 2 SUVs for more energy-efficient cars. Water mains across Toronto are getting a makeover to ensure that longevity of the city's water supply. Andrew Cranfield reports.
Construction slows down traffic and makes life harder for pedestrians.
Wait, how long has this construction been going on in this area?
Well, I only came here when school. When I came here, they had big excavation there and there.
All this trouble is a result of upgrading water mains in the area.
Has it been a hazard for you and the pedestrians that you've been crossing?
It was when they had the excavation here. That's why I moved over to that corner and had to wave the people over.
And how is the traffic with the cars going back and forth?
It's just as miserable as ever.
In 10 weeks' time, East Yorkers will have a reliable water source to look forward to. This is Nikki Rhoda, CCTV News.
Sorry, that was the wrong tape. We are going to cue the tape again. Thank you. What the heck? Yikes!
This is Andrea Cranfield reporting from the corner of Carla and Mortimer in front of the CCC campus at Centennial College.
I'm done. My career is over. It hasn't even started. And my career is over. I can't work under these conditions. People are...
But hopefully that, the service is more important than the little bit of inconvenience, the way we look at it.
This is Andrea Cranfield reporting for CCTV.
Although Canadians might feel wealthier since the strong performance of the Canadian dollar, a new report paints a different picture. The Institute for Competitiveness and Prosperity says the prosperity gap between Canada and the United States is getting bigger. Ironically, the strong loonie contributes to this gap, as it makes it more difficult for Canadian companies to be competitive. But the US recession might change this picture. In its latest forecast, the Washington-based National Association for Business Economics says the risk of recession has increased.
An East Toronto mother is on a mission to make sure that her daughter's killer stays behind bars. Tracy Christie, mother of murder victim Christy Christie, is putting together a rally to take place outside of Kingston Penitentiary on December 4th. This comes just weeks before her daughter's killer, Junior Johnston, is set to have his second parole hearing. Johnston shot 16-year-old Christie on January 29, 1996, while she babysat. Tracy Christie and the victims' rights organization Victims for Change will organize the rally. Over 600 people are expected to picket outside the jail. And that's the news to this hour. Now over to Danielle for the buzz from Hollywood.
Thanks, Brandii, and hello, everyone. A different kind of Saturday Night Live was aired this past weekend. Despite the Writers Guild of America strike, SNL cast and writers put their heads together and aired the episode Saturday Night Live on Strike. The show was put on to benefit the behind-the-scenes staff who have been most affected by the strike. The entire SNL cast, plus veterans Rachel Dratch and Horatio Sands, took part in the show. In terms of the strike, writers and studios will take up formal contract negotiations next Monday. The Actors Fund saw a generous donation from Hollywood's handsome George Clooney. The actor donated $25,000 as emergency relief for the workers who are suffering financially due to the screenwriters' strike. The Halifax Common won't be seeing Celine Dion perform this coming August 23rd. The concert's promoter says the theater cannot accommodate Diane's lavish production needs. Tickets were supposed to go on sale this past Saturday. That's it for Hollywood's Glitterati. Stay tuned for more entertainment news from Nikki Rotas after the break.
The American Music Awards, tomorrow at 8, 7 Central on CTV.
Introducing the new Cadillac STS. Let's dance. Right through.
Let there be light.
You didn't test them.
You just need better lights.
Come on.
Noma LED lights from Canadian Tire.
They have a one-piece molded construction and no filament, so they'll last years longer than traditional bulbs.
And since they're low voltage, they use up to 90% less power and blow less fuses.
They look great.
Starting at $12.99 for a 70-light string. Noma LED lights. Now that's different. And only at Canadian Tire.
At Scotiabank, we'll help you find money you didn't know you had. We just showed Jennifer how a few small changes could uncover an extra $1,800 for her child's education. You're richer than you think. Let us show you how. Scotiabank.
This is your last chance.
Steffi?
Oh, hi, Fran.
That's not the way to get tough with your dishes. You need a heavy hitter like Palmolive Oxy Plus. It's the toughest on grease.
Its oxygenated formula blasts away grease fast.
And it's still soft on hands.
I guess I'm not as tough as I thought.
I'd leave that to Palmolive.
New Palmolive Oxy Plus. Toughest on grease, soft on hands. Guaranteed.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nikki Rodas. American Idol alumni raked in the hardware at the American Music Awards. Sunday night in Los Angeles, Chris Daughtry and Carrie Underwood proved that the reality singing competition was worth it. Both Daughtry and Underwood earned 3 wins each. Canadian songstress Celine Dion was also spotted at the awards. She performed her new single, Taking Chances. Dion will be on tour in Toronto in late August. MTV, the American music television empire, launched a new Arabic channel. MTV Arabia broadcasts hip-hop, R&B, and Arabic music videos. Music executives say the new program will break down ethnic barriers. The channel will reach 36 million households. The ongoing Hollywood TV writer strike has taken a new turn. Writers have logged onto the internet to make a difference. Writers from The Daily Show and The Simpsons have broadcast their beef about pay on YouTube. The online video forum reaches millions of viewers worldwide. That's all for entertainment. Now let's go to sports with Travis Persaud and Amanda Persico.
Thanks, Nikki. And hi, everyone. I'm Travis Persaud with Amanda Persico, and here's the latest in sports.
Thanks, Travis, and hello, everyone. The 95th Grey Cup Finals is only days away, and with that, Toronto lost the chance to play the game on home turf. Winnipeg bombed the Argos yesterday 19-9. It was a heaving game. Argos quarterback Michael Bishop threw 45 passes, but only making 21 connections. On the other side of the camp, Kevin Glenn made contact 15 times and 1 touchdown pass. It looks like Glenn won't be throwing the pigskin around for the big game. He suffered a broken arm early in the fourth quarter. Argos linebacker Kevin Eben charged the blue QB in the moment of hesitation to pass to Charles Roberts. The Bombers are placing all hope on second-year backup QB Ryan Dinwiddie. On the West Coast, the Lions were surprisingly roughed up. The Saskatchewan Roughriders beat the BC Lions 26-17. After successive losses, Kerry Joseph unexpectedly threw 209 yards and touchdown passes. The Prairie Showdown for the Grey Chalice is this Sunday.
The Toronto Raptors stalled in the fourth quarter, losing to the Golden State Warriors 106-100 yesterday afternoon. The Raptors led by 8 points going into the fourth, but fell into a shooting slump and could not recover. Golden State outscored the Raptors 26-12 in the decisive last frame. Stephen Jackson led Golden State with 17 points and 5 assists in his first game back this season. Jackson sat out the first 7 games, serving a suspension. TJ Ford led the Raptors with 29 points and 9 assists. But Chris Bosh continued to struggle yesterday, scoring only 11 points. And Rasho Nesterovic sat out yesterday's game and will not travel with the Raptors on their upcoming road trip. The center suffered a sprained ankle against Utah on Wednesday. The team says he will miss up to 2 weeks. The Raptors now head west to face the dominant Dallas Mavericks on Tuesday.
Another Western story, the Canucks beat the Flames 4-1, even though they lost to top defenseman Mattias Onlund. Onlund was handed a 4-game suspension on Friday after he slashed Minnesota Wild forward and fractured his left leg. The Leafs play tomorrow night at Boston.
And the Boston Celtics fell for the first time yesterday afternoon. The Orlando Magic knocked off the previously undefeated Celtics 104-102. Dwight Howard scored 24 points and Rashard Lewis added 22 in the victory. Paul Pierce scored 28 points for the Celtics, but missed a jumper that would have sent the game into overtime. Despite a 20-point deficit, Boston fought back and almost stole the game from Orlando in the fourth quarter. However, Jameer Nelson and Lewis hit key free throws near the end of the game to seal Orlando's victory. The loss ends Boston's win streak at 8 games.
Roger Federer won his 4th Masters Cup title yesterday. This tennis star is 2 Grand Slams away from beating the world record. He currently has 12 under his belt. There's no slowing down for this athlete as the Australian Open starts in January of 2008.
And Toronto Dwayne De Rosario is on top of the world. His Houston Dynamos bested the New England Revolution, winning the MLS Cup for the 2nd straight year. De Rosario scored the winner at the 74-minute mark and was named the game's most valuable player. The Dynamo rallied with 2 goals in the second half to stun the Revolution, who have yet to win the Cup in 4 tries. And switching to baseball, the Blue Jays have acquired Marco Scutaro from the Oakland Athletics for 2 minor league players. The 32-year-old Scutaro can play second, third, shortstop, and outfield. His utility skills will improve the Jays' bench. Scutaro hit .260 with 7 home runs and 41 RBIs in 104 games last year for Oakland. This is the second move of the offseason for the Jays after re-signing Matt Steers last month. General Manager J.P. Ricciardi will now focus on finding a backup catcher to play behind Greg Zahn. Now that's it for sports this morning. Now over to Nicole Seaton for her thoughts on the expense of driving.
Hey everyone, I'm Nicole Seaton. What I want to talk to you today about is my frustration with owning a car and driving. Almost everyone I know has been through it. You get your G2 and suddenly all you can think about is I need a car. When you get it, at first everything is great. You can go anywhere you want, when you want. There's no place too far to go. Well, that's what I thought anyways. Right up until the day I suddenly lost interest in driving. It seems like everywhere you go now there's construction. With construction there's traffic. Places that were 50 minutes away are now 30 minutes away. To make matters worse, gas prices are high. There are actually people out there spending $60 to $100 to fill up their tanks. And on top of that, there's insurance. These issues got me thinking. I wondered if public transportation would be a better option for me, but it didn't take me long to settle those thoughts. I remembered waiting in the cold for the bus, and those thoughts were quickly dismissed. Yes, I hate traffic and the high costs of owning a car, but the truth is I have become too used to the privileges of owning a car to give it up. I guess you have to take the bad with the good. For CCTV News, I'm Nicole Seaton. Thanks, everyone. And that's my rant for today. Stay tuned for our program. It continues after the break.
Few relationships in life are more important than the one between you and your Michelin tires. Rugged, long-lasting Michelin light truck tires. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Welcome back. That's what's making news to this hour.
On behalf of all of us here at CCTV News, thanks for watching and have a great afternoon.
Camera 2 or go on to...
Brandii's gonna be looking at camera 3.
Oh, come on, right.
Imagine asking children
9. 5, just want to get her centered.
up in your career. But how much reality do you need too much? See, without caring.
Need a sound check for Brandii.
And what about Tom and Kate? If you want, or be prepared to get us help from local Burger King for a walk.
All right.